Hi guys, second video here, just talking through my journey since starting TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. And yeah, so I've already made a video on my initial blood test from the very start and then 6 weeks in. I'm now around 10 weeks in, so I'm going to go through a few of my symptoms beforehand once again, and then how I'm feeling now, and if I'm having any side effects, the benefits that I'm seeing, and the negatives really, weigh off the cons and pros. Yeah, we'll start talking about it. So my initial symptoms again were mainly just chronic fatigue, just tired all the time, feeling exhausted, brain fog, not being able to concentrate on things that I wanted to, not being able to concentrate on work, just simple things. Just felt really difficult at times, just felt really dumb some days. And yeah, not feeling that great, feeling a little miserable because of all these things, feeling tired, exhausted. I noticed that I was breaking my fingers and toes quite easily. I wasn't sleeping as well. I couldn't make any progress in the gym, even though I was eating correctly and progressively overloading. I wouldn't see any improvements in my exercise at all. So that was obviously frustrating. Any others? I was getting fat around areas that I've never experienced before, around the TTs, love handle area. The arms have started to really get like fat at points. Yeah, those were the main symptoms. I didn't mention libido and erections in the last video because that wasn't really anything I was concerned with. It wasn't a symptom. I was cracking one off daily beforehand, so yeah, I didn't really mention it because of that. Going forward to how I feel now, I'll go through it more like step by step, how I felt when I first started taking it, and then maybe a month in, and then so on. So first week was almost too much, and I think it was the thyroid medication. Suddenly having all that energy was too much. It was like it was like rocket fuel, just way too much energy after being exhausted all the time to suddenly having like electric energy. It felt almost like I drank 3 Monster energy drinks in one, and it was too much. I was just wired. And in work, I nearly had an anxiety attack. I felt like I was freaking out, and I had nothing to be nervous about. It felt like someone was going to stab me. That's literally how it felt. So I rang my company that provided my TRT and spoke to them about it. And when he explained it to me, it calmed me down, and it made me just realise that it's going to take some time to get used to everything. How he explained it was having all this extra energy that my brain's not used to having. It thinks that it's in the fight or flight state, almost like when you see a bear and you shit yourself, and you're either going to run from the bear or you're going to have to fight it, and you're not going to win. So your brain then produces adrenaline. So my body getting all this extra energy was then producing adrenaline because of it thought that I was getting a fight or flight moment because I had this extra energy, and then it was going into this part where I just felt nervous for no reason because of my brain's got adrenaline in it running through it. So I'm kind of in this panic mode all day. Cortisol would have been through the roof at this point, I'm sure. So yeah, that wasn't pleasant at all. I noticed I was quite moody for a week or two, but then 3 or 4 weeks in, that started to settle down, which was very welcomed. But then the energy levels then started to feel like productive energy levels, and I noticed that the brain fog was gone completely. I could focus in work. I could do things smoothly without having any sort of problems at all. We actually had a few people off from work through coronavirus, and I had to almost run the place where I work on my own, and I was doing my jobs on top of other people's jobs, and it didn't feel like a problem at all. I could just go. I felt really productive and focused and just brilliant straight away. So from that 4-week mark, it started to really kick in. I felt really good. In terms of how my body felt, it felt like fat was starting to come off, those love handle areas. This isn't the reason why I started taking TRT, but it was something that, it was one of the reasons. It wasn't the main reason. I'm not going to say there wasn't any egotistical side of it. When you've been quite thin, athletic your whole life, to then suddenly starting to store fat in areas, you do realise something's wrong from that as well. So yeah, that was nice to start losing fat in areas. Hadn't seen any strength gains yet, but I noticed that I could start to put size on and weight a little bit quicker. So I put about 2 or 3 pounds on in weight, not training any different, not eating any differently. It just happened. I just put a bit of weight on and lost a bit of fat. So obviously that's welcome as well. So more productive, seeing better changes in the gym for a change. Side effects at this point, what I did notice pretty much 2-3 weeks in is my hair started thinning straight away. It started thinning, and I noticed that quite a lot was falling out in the shower, and my hair is receding quite quickly, and it has been up until this 10-week mark, getting worse. It's receding. Got a little bit on the crown of my head where it was like a 1 pence probably 2 weeks in. Now it's probably more like a 20 pence. It's getting thinner up that top bit. You'll see here, like, there's little bits of my hair that this is where my hairline was, and then it's getting thin, and now it's getting to here, and it was probably down here, and it has pretty much regressed really quickly. So yeah, this week I actually ordered some finasteride and minoxidil, which I have started applying this week, and I've noticed that I'm starting to get a little bit more bum fluff hairs growing back out, because no hair was growing. I could really just see my scalp coming through, and I didn't want to lose my hair. So what can I say? The ego came out. I don't want to lose my hair. I don't want to be bald yet. I don't think I'd suit being bald. So I'll make another video on the finasteride and how I'm applying that, and I'm not taking it orally. I'm using topical. So yeah, I'll make another video on that. But yeah, I noticed that straight away within the 2, 3, 4 week mark that my hair was getting thinner and it was coming out more. And moving forward to now, how do I feel now? Around week 8, I did start to experience more weight gain again. So I noticed that I was getting a bit of strength as well. I think it was around week 6 actually that I noticed strength, because of it was just before the gym shut again in England. We got put into another lockdown, unfortunately, which we've just found out we're coming out of in a week, which is nice to get back to the gym. And I got an overhead press personal best that I've not hit for probably 3 or 4 years. So yeah, that was one rep max, and it came back to me. So that was an amazing feeling to get that back. I went to Sweden for a week, and during that time in Sweden I put on another 2 or 3 pounds. So since starting, I was fluctuating between, my weight was fluctuating quite a lot beforehand. That was probably another symptom. It was fluctuating between 74 and 76 kilo quite a bit. Now it's sitting at around 79, 80, and it's not fluctuating as much. It's fluctuating by like a pound or two a day, whereas before it was fluctuating by 4 or 5 pound a day. It was going up a lot and down a lot. It was all over the place. And like I said, I've not really changed my diet that much. Maybe lack of activity in the last month will make me lose weight less, fluctuate less, I'm not sure. We'll have to see when I get back to work next week onwards. But I am definitely noticing it's easier to build muscle again and lose fat again, whereas before it just felt like I was in a constant plateau and couldn't get anywhere basically, so that was pretty shit. So yeah, that's where was it up to, the week 8 mark. What I'd noticed is, even though I hadn't mentioned libido or sex drive or erection quality or anything like that being an issue beforehand, it's better now. So maybe it wasn't 100%. I don't know. I wake up with boners every morning, which was more like something I had in my early 20s. I'd still wake up with boners from time to time before the TRT, but now every morning I wake up ready to go. And I've noticed the erection quality and the quality of the enjoyment of it is definitely better than it was beforehand. So I don't know, maybe if you say if the quality of your erections has gone down by 5% in the last 5 to 10 years, are you going to notice that? Probably not, unless you got that back. So yeah, maybe it had gone a little bit. Not complaining about that whatsoever. Not complaining about waking up ready. So yeah, that's another plus, I'd say. And that's around the 10-week mark. The other symptom that I have experienced around week 8 to week 10 was I started to notice that after taking the Proviron, my nipples were getting torpedo action. Absolute boing! They were kind of getting a little itchy and sensitive as well. So I've now started on another tablet called it's called Tamofen here. I think in the UK they call it more Novadex. It's to stop you getting gyno, and it's to lower my estrogen levels a bit. This is all a balancing act. The Clomid will make my estrogen levels go quite high, and the Proviron's supposed to stop that going too high. It has to go a lot higher, like I explained in my last video, because my testosterone levels have doubled. So the estrogen has to go up as well, because it all has to be in balance. But at the moment, it must be slightly too high if I'm getting fucking torpedo action. And I was starting to get some puffy nipple action. Was worrying. I don't want to get fucking gyno. I don't want bitch tits. Nobody wants boobs. So yeah, I don't want to be one of them flabby titties kind of guys. Not a good look. So so yeah, I've started that the last 2 days. So I'll report on that again, maybe in the next video, like 3-4 month mark. Don't know when I'll make the next video about my progress. So there's no point really making a video a week into taking something. You're not going to notice something that quickly. I need to let the hormones settle. 6 weeks into taking it, so in 6 weeks time, I'm going to be having another blood test. So maybe I'll make another video then when I've got my blood results, and I'll show you those. But yeah, feeling really good. Energy levels are fantastic. Wake up feeling brilliant. Doesn't feel like I need coffee to get throughout the day anymore and to focus. I still have a coffee in the morning because I like coffee. But rather than getting a Americano with an extra shot of coffee, and I can have 1 espresso and that'll last me 5-6 hours, rather than after 3 hours I'm desperate for more coffee because I feel exhausted and I can't focus and I feel just fucked. I felt absolutely fucked. Don't feel like that anymore. 1 espresso in the morning or a black coffee, which will be 2 shots of coffee in the Americano. That'll last me almost throughout the whole day, and then I might have a Diet Coke later in the evening or a green tea, just to top off the rest of the day if I do feel tired. And that's my caffeine intake throughout the day, and that it's probably gone from 2-3 coffees a day, which would have been 400 to 500 milligrams of caffeine per day, to more like 200, which is 1 Monster Energy drink, which is brilliant. You shouldn't really be having more than 200 milligrams caffeine a day. I was having way too much, and I did know that, and I tried to dwindle that down, but I just felt like shit, and I couldn't get through the day anymore. I needed it. That's what it felt like. Sound like a crackhead right now, but I needed it. Whereas now I don't feel like I need that anymore, so that's fantastic. And I think that has basically covered how I felt beforehand to how I feel now, really. I will make a video on the hair loss. I did do a little bit of a video before I started the finasteride, so maybe if I give it another week or two, I'll do like a 2 weeks in video to show you what the recession looked like, what the balding on the top of the head looked like, and then how it's going 2 weeks in. I don't think there'll be much difference at all in 2 weeks, but hey, you never know. Miracles might happen. I doubt it, but yeah, we'll see if the hair loss process has slowed down anyway, because I was noticing week on week it was getting progressively worse. So if it's slowed down, that's a sign that it's going to start improving in the near future. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll update you again in probably 6 weeks on the testosterone and a week or two on the finasteride and minoxidil. Any questions, put it in the comment section. Subscribe and like it if you're interested. And I'll see you soon. Bye.